Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, all who are study physiology or most of the time these practicals are according to the MBBS, first year MBBS and second year MBBS. So here we are going to start a series of practicals which are conducted on Power Lab. So this is a complete Power Lab teaching system in physiology for the MBBS students. And in any college, we have used these devices to conduct the experiments. So I will explain you in detail what is a Power Lab teaching system for MBBS students and how the experiments are performed and which experiments can be performed by using this strong Power Lab device. Objectives. First of all, we will study the major and minor hardwares. What is the major hardware and what is the minor hardware? We will understand about the software of the Power Lab. We will study electromechanical physiology experiments and features of the lab tutor. This is the software. So we will study the features of the lab tutor along with the hardware. So before that, I would like to share the history of the equipments that were used in the Department of Physiology for the experiments. Initially, kymograph, the first one, you can see the position of my mouse. This is the kymograph and it is invented in 1847. It is still used in many medical colleges all over the world. But in our university, we are using the most latest invention used in the Power Lab. However, after the kymograph, there is a discovery of oscilloscope in 1897. With the help of this device, we can record many nerve and muscle experiments. And then chart recorder was invented in 1964. This is a quite modern equipment. It is quite related to the ECG machine. It has a paper and but you know in all these three devices, because of the presence of the paper and not sophisticated softwares, it is not so easy to handle this device, and sometimes we need to manipulate our data, so we need a lot of paper for it. However, the latest invention is the Power Lab, which is invented in 1980. And today we will discuss about in detail what is hardware and how it works as compared to other devices. In short, the latest equipment that we are using in our lab is Power Lab for the experiment of first year MBBS of electrophysiology. So this is the technology, kymograph. Technology derived from kymograph, which record the data on a revolving drum. Means, for example, if we have to record the lung volumes and capacities, for that purpose we have this equipment, kymograph drum. So we can record the activity of this lung volumes and capacities on this revolving drum, but it has a limited paper, so we cannot record it for longer period. So this is why it is the limitation of this technology. But still, because it is cheap as compared to Power Lab, so still many universities and colleges of the MBBS and other health sciences students are using this device. But you know, because of the limitations and difficulty in using this device, I don't recommend this because when we have a new equipment, why we use the older one. And then this was a new chart recorder which replaces the kymograph, because it has not a limited paper. You know, you can have a large roll of paper and you can record a lot of data. Basically, chart record is used for the research purpose in the physiology department, for the muscle activity, recording of the muscular activity and recording of the electrical activity. But still it has a limitation that you cannot zoom your graph that you obtain on the paper. And then comes the Power Lab data acquisition system. In the Power Lab data acquisition system, we are not limited to the paper. We can record as much as possible, and we can zoom in and zoom out, means uh, we can zoom, we can increase the size of the graph to see the activity of any experiment. So what is a data acquisition system? Data acquisition system is basically data acquiring system, means you acquire the data by performing different practicals. For example, in this picture you can see this is the setup for the experiment of lung volumes and lung capacities. With the help of the setup you can find out the lung function test. So this is a simple equipment, neat and clean. You just have to attach this pneumotachymeter along with its other accessories to the power lab, and you can record your lung volumes and capacities, and you can analyze and compare it with the normal values. In coming slides, I will show you the interface, how it look like. But before that, I want to introduce the hardware part. The hardware is this box. Basically, this is a Power Lab is a hardware device that is attached with the computer system, and the software that we are using with the Power Lab are of three types. These are the softwares that we attach with the Power Lab: Lab Chart, Scope, and Lab Tutor. I mark it Lab Tutor in a larger one because in the laboratory, in the students laboratory of the MBBS, first year MBBS, we use the Lab Tutor software because it is quite easy as compared to Lab Chart and Scope. Basically, the Lab Chart and Scope are the software that we use for the research purpose, and Lab Tutor we use in the laboratory for the students teaching. Now the question arises, how this data acquisition system work? Here we are giving an example. You can see this is the transducer which is attached with the finger. This is basically finger pulse transducer. This finger pulse transducer catch or carry or acquire the mechanical signals from your finger, because pulse is a mechanical signal due to the pressure of the blood. So this mechanical signal are picked up by this transducer. Transducer can be any device that we can attach. Means if you are taking the recording from the finger, so this will be our device that catch the data from the finger and will transfer to the Power Lab. So what the transducer do? First of all, this transducer, this is the close picture of the transducer. Transducer pick the signal from the finger, and these are the mechanical signals. So transducer convert the mechanical signal into analog signal, the wave-like structures, and then these analog signals when enter into the Power Lab hardware with the help of Lab Tutor. What the Power Lab do? Power Lab convert these analog signals to digital signals, and on the computer screen they are displayed in the form of graphs. Digital forms, digital signals. You know, the graphs or anything you display on the computer is a digital signal. Digital dots or made up of dots, and this is known as digital signal. So what other things the Power Lab do is, now come again, that first of all the mechanical signals are picked up by the transducer, and these signals are serve as input for the Power Lab. But before converting to the digital signals, what the Power Lab do? First of all, Power Lab take the signals from the transducer that transduces the signals into the Power Lab, and then once it is picked up by the Power Lab, what the Power Lab do? Power Lab first of all amplify these signals, right? These recordings are amplified, and if anything is add up. Now here what we have to filter out. The second step is filtering. Now what the Power Lab is filter out is very important. Power Lab is very powerful machine, and you know all the signals are in the waveform. And if you are recording in a room where the fan is working, now you see there is a sound of the fan. So what the Power Lab do? Power Lab will pick up the sound waves. So that is why we have to remove these extra sound waves from our actual data. So Power Lab software is very intelligent. What it will do, it knows that for this experiment we have attached the pulse transducer, and pulse transducer will produces a wave-like structure which has some particular range of the frequency. And if the waves are of a high range or low range, then what the power lab do? Power lab will remove these extra frequency waves from our actual data and give you a sample data, and the procedure is known as filtering and sampling, and your final data will be displayed on your computer screen. So in this way, first of all, the mechanical signals are converted to analog signals, and with the help of Power Lab, these analog signals are converted to digital signals and displayed on your computer screen. This is the generalized mechanism for all the experiments conducted on the Power Lab. You know, every time we use the same hardware and use the same software lab tutor, but these equipment that we are attaching transducer, and transducers means anything that transduces signal from outside into the power lab. They can be changed, accessories can be changed, attachments can be changed, but the overall software and hardware will remain same, and the mechanics behind the working will remain the same. I hope you understand up till this point. Power Lab hardware unit. Power Lab is the basic hardware that measures the electrical signals through input on its front panel. These inputs are basically the knobs to which we attach the transducers. So that is why we say that the Power Lab has some input on the front panel to which we attach the accessories. Power Lab has the ability to generate voltage pulses for electrical stimulation of the nerve and the muscle. So sometimes we need electrical stimulation so that we can stimulate nerve and muscle and record the desired graph. For that purpose, Power Lab can generate the electrical stimulation, electrical current. And the third important function is of the Power Lab is just that you can simply attach the appropriate cable like transducers to the connectors or the input knobs on the front panel. Input and output both. I will tell you what is input and output in more detail in the coming slides. But at this stage, you must understand that you just have to attach the cables on the front part of the Power Lab and measure the signals in the Lab Tutor software. This is the front panel. Now you must focus here. Okay. First of all, this is a device of the Power Lab. Here, this is the bio amplifier knob. All these are the connectors. When I told you that you have to connect the wires to it, it means that these all are connectors. Some are input connectors, some are output connector. So here you understand that this one, this black one, is the input connector, means it can carry or acquire the data from outside to inside, but from the human body. This part, this blue part is for the human subject, and this part is for the animal subject. So first of all, we will study about the human subject. This bioamplifier knob is basically a knob to which we attach the bioamplifier cable or the wire, so that we can input the data. For example, ECG, EMG, nerve conduction signals, EMG, all these signals can be input into the Power Lab with the help of this bioamplifier cable. But you can see red and black. These connector are for the connecting wires for stimulation to the human subject. When we perform the EMG technique, we need to stimulate the human nerves. For that purpose, we have a special type of stimulating electrode that we attach to these human stimulator panel, and then we will give Power Lab will generate a small amount of current so that it will stimulate the nerve from the human subject, and data will be recorded with this bioamplifier cable. So this part is basically for the human subject, and these four, this one, this one, this one, this is for human and animal both. This is for the input purpose, and we just recorded. For example, finger pulse transducer can be attached here. We can have some bridge pod, which are accessory equipment that we attach in different types of experiments. And the important thing is this, you can see this is the black, and this is usually this is black and red, this is plus and this is minus button. This is an output knob. You can see this is written here OUT out, PUT put output. So this is the output knob for the stimulation of animal subjects. For example, if we are performing the experiments of frog, in that case, what we will do, we will use this stimulator and stimulate the nerves and the muscles of the animal subject, such as frog. So this is the front panel, and we can have different types of front panel on Power Lab. All these are different types of Power Lab. This is for the research purpose. This is also for the research. All these are the very much more sophisticated, and this software is also very sophisticated as compared to the MBBS students. So this I put this picture only for the comparison. This is a simple one that we use for the MBBS class, but this is more sophisticated that we use in the research purpose. And this is the rear panel where we attach a wire so that it will be connected to the computer system on which the LabTutor software is present. And this is the place where we supply the power. And this is the switch on button. Now come to the software. Up till now we have studied about the hardware Power Lab. Now come to the software LabTutor. LabTutor is an HTML based software package. It means that the language on which the Power Lab software is designed is HTML. So the programming is on HTML software. And always remember, this software is designed for the laboratory teaching. This is not designed for the diagnosis purpose. So always remember, this is for the teaching purpose and learning purpose, not for the diagnosis. However, it will give you the main idea, the main information, the same information that you do with the machine. However, we will not recommend that you find that these values are the final for the decision of diagnosis of any disease. Okay. And then it is used with Power Lab main hardware. And why I mentioned this point? I mentioned this point because LabTutor is a particular software which belongs to the AD instrument machine. And similarly, the hardware device, the box is the Power Lab, which is again made by the AD instrument. So this is very important that this software can only work at its particular device. It cannot work with other devices. So always just like Windows can work on any company like HP, Dell, and other companies, but LabTutor software cannot work with any other company's hardware. It can only work with the Power Lab hardware. What the LabTutor do? LabTutor perform a lot of work, just like it control the sampling. Means although the hardware is participating, but of course hardware cannot work without software. So here you can see LabTutor control the sampling of the particular data. Means it can delete the extra waves from your sample data. It can help in controlling the digitizing. Means how much points or dots will be appear on your computer screen to make the graph. Digitizing and storage of the data is also done by LabTutor. The other work the LabTutor software will do, it will display. Of course, it will have LabTutor has a interface, particular interface where you can see a graphical presentation of your results that you recorded after practical. So it will display your results. You can manipulate. Manipulate means you can move side to side. You can slide left to side, right side. Whatever graph you have made, you can manipulate. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can make it big or small so that you can see it clearly. Although it will not change the value, it will not change the value of the record, but it can show you. You can change the size of the just to see the recording. Okay, so you can manipulate your data. You can go to the first page, you can go to the third page of the data. So this is how the LabTutor help you. And finally, after you have completed your recording, you have saved your data, you have stored your data, and you can analyze your data. For example, you want to make a graph between force and stimulation. Means when you stimulate a muscle, how much force is produced. If you want to see a relationship between them, then you can also do with the help of LabTutor software. So this is how the hardware and software combine to work. This is sampling procedure. As I told you that sometimes extra waves, for example, this extra point, this extra wave is appearing. What the lab tutor do? Lab tutor will remove these extra points. These extra points will be removed with the help of the software, and it will give you your final data. The final graph will appear, and these are the digits. That is why it is known as digital signals. These waves are basically made up of small digits. Every time that there will be a change in the force of contraction or any signal electrical activity, these waves appear in the form of digits, which are then displayed in the form of graph. And you see, after the removing, digitizing, now these signals, you can see they are in the digital form, but they are looking like a line, but they are basically, these are small digits which are appearing in this form. So this is known as digitizing. After sampling, your data will be neat and clean, and digital signals are appear on the lab tutor. This is the lab tutor software, this lab tutor screen. So I hope you understand how it is working. And from now onward, I will show you some examples of recorded experiments. For example, there is experiment of recording of finger pulse. Means if you want to record your pulse, means how many times your heart will beat. So with the help of this experiment, you can understand how many times your heart will beat, pulse is produced. So you just have to place the finger pulse transducer and click the start button, and your recording will start. After that, you can count how many pulses you have in 1 minute. And this interface is again from the lab tutor, but this is for the animal subject. Here what we will do, this representing you simple muscle twitch. Simple muscle twitch is basically a record which appear when you stimulate a muscle, a frog muscle, and stimulate with the help of this software, and a force will be produced. For example, here you can see amplitude 750 millivolt, means you provide 750 millivolt to the muscle of the frog, and it will produce some force. And in the next page, this is the pages, and this is the time, for example 15, 16, 17. You can see this is the first recording when there is no record appear when you first time stimulate. Then you increase the strength of the current, the force will produce, and then increase. So here see, the when we increases the force, when we increase the stimulation voltage, the force will increase. So in this way we will have the recording, and on the second page we can make a graph of a relationship between force and the stimulation. So for some experiment of the skeletal muscle, we have this type of recording that we can do, and this is very important for the first year MBBS students, because all these experiments are included in the locomotor experiments. And here you can see, this picture is showing you manipulate and analyze the data. Manipulate means, for example, if you are on page number 15, you can go to page number 14, you can go to page number 13, and you can see when you stimulate at 500 millivolt, what is the result, how much force is produced, and when you are stimulating at 300 millivolt, how much force is produced. So every time, what we can do, we can calculate from here. Of course, I cannot show you here because this is a whole procedure. Every time when after recording, we go to the next page where we have analysis page. On the analysis page, we can measure this force and insert into these columns. Stimulation, how much voltage you are giving, and the force of contraction that is produced. So in this way, when you insert these value, automatically a graph will appear that show you, as you increase the stimulation, the force of contraction will also increase. And this screen shows you the organization of lab tutor experiments. This is the lab tutor software which have all different types of experiments, list of experiments. Of course, there are more than this, but we have chosen few important experiments that are included in our syllabus. And for example, in this case, if you go to the any of them, for example, we are going to the frog nerve. In the frog nerve, we have multiple experiment, not one experiment. For the frog skeletal muscle, we have multiple experiment, not only one. We have simple muscle twitch, we have experiment of muscle fatigue, we have tetanization, and so and so. So we will have a huge range of experiment that we can perform. For example, human experiments we are included in our syllabus is almost 15. Some are from the cardiovascular system, such as refractory period of the frog heart and the ECG, and we have experiments from the respiration, lung volumes and capacities. We have pulmonary function test, and then vital capacity, all these things. And then we have some experiment from the neurophysiology, like electroencephalography. We can record the electrical activity of the brain, and we can have muscular activities, such as we can record the nerve conduction velocity. We can conduct the electromyography, muscular diseases, causes of the muscular diseases, and all these are included in the human physiology. And then we have some experiments from the animal physiology, from the nerve, cardiac muscle, and skeletal muscle. So in this way, we have a huge list of experiments that we can perform with a single equipment. Previously, we have different machine for ECG, we have different machine for the muscle, skeletal muscle, we have different machine for the lung volumes and capacities. But now the Power Lab is so sophisticated that you just have to change this setup, this accessories, and the Power Lab is the only machine by which you can perform a lot of experiments. Okay, so this is the recording of spirometry, and this is done with the help of lab tutor software, and this is the hardware. So this is a picture which is showing you that this person is breathing through this bore tubing, and there are some sensors attached with it, and this is attached with the Power Lab, and Power Lab is attached with the computer system, and this type of recording will appear. And from this recording you can understand how much lung volumes and capacities you possess, what is your lung volumes and capacities, how is your lung functions, and what is the normal breathing rate. And this is the picture showing you that how you can perform the ECG with the help of Power Lab device. However, we are now modified. We come to because we understand the importance of ECG machine, ECG on the clinical ECG. So now we have modified this, and now we are using this ECG on the ECG machine, 12 lead ECG machine. However, previously we record ECG on the Power Lab also. So we have the option that we can record 12 lead ECG, but that is quite sophisticated for the MBBS student to use this software. That is why now we are switched to the ECG machine, and we have a cardiologist who teach you in detail about the ECG. And then we have another experiment from the human subject, which shows you that we are recording with the help of Power Lab hardware and Lab Tutor software. And this picture show you Evoke TMG. Evoke TMG is basically the EMG which is produced. This is the electromyography, electromyogram, and this is basically produced when you stimulate the nerve. So after the stimulation, graphs will appear, and with the help of these EMG recording, we can calculate the nerve conduction velocity of a particular nerve. In this case, you can see this is the setup of nerve conduction velocity from the median nerve. And you know that there is a disease which is associated with the median nerve, the carpal tunnel syndrome. So whenever a patient come to you and complain for the pain in this area, may indicate that there is some carpal tunnel syndrome. So for that purpose, we perform the median nerve conduction velocity test, and this is the setup. And first of all, we will record the EMG, and from this EMG we record the nerve conduction velocity and can differentiate the diseases between neurological causes and muscle disorders. So in this way, we have this experiment also included. And finally, we have some experiments related to animal subject, and this is the setup of the animal recording. Here we place the muscle, and it is attached with your transducer, again force transducer, that pick the activity of the muscle, and then it will give to the bridge pod, and bridge pod is attached to the Power Lab, and this type of recording will appear on the Lab Tutor. and you can see the relationship between the stimulus interval and the maximum force of contraction. So it depends how we are performing our experiments. And here you can have a look recording data. You first of all, here this is the very important slide. Just focus on it. Lab tutor panel. This is the lab tutor panel. Here you can see a lot of buttons. Here you can see this is the start button, and this is basically one of the experiment of the frog skeletal muscle. So whenever you click the start button, a particular amount of current that we have already set will be delivered to the muscles of the frog. And when the current is delivered or signal or stimulation is given to the muscle, this muscle will contract, and this force of contraction will be produced. Means this is the contraction of the frog skeletal muscle will appear over here because we have attached the recording electrodes. So this is the start button. When you click the start button, only one time a current will be given to the muscle and muscle will produce contraction. So this is one of the button, and then we have a lot of other buttons like cross button. Means this is a cross which indicate delete button. So if you want to delete this, for example, we have different records and we want to delete, for example, graph number 19. So we can go to the graph number 19 and click this delete button. That will delete this page. So and sometime we need to delete a particular part for the printing purpose, because sometimes we are doing some printing for attaching to the practical journal. So in this way we need sometimes we need to delete. Then we have plus button to increase the size of the graph so that we can see it properly, and then we have minus button which shows you to decrease the size of the graph. So we have two types of plus minus, this plus and this plus minus and this plus minus. This will indicate you horizontal compression. Okay, horizontal compression. And this plus minus this will give you vertical scaling button or vertical compression button. So with the help of these plus minus button, you can change the size, look of the graph, not the values. Okay, always remember this will not change the value. This look of the graph will be increase or decrease so that you can understand it. And then we have a scroll bar for scrolling data. Now you can see this is a this is scroll bar. For example, if this graph is very large and if you want to move further, so this is a scroll bar. You can move on the right side. You can move on the right side and you can move on the left side. This is called the scrolling or manipulation of the data. You can go to 11 page, 12 page. All this is in the this is known as manipulation of the data. Sometimes you can scroll to the right side, left side. This is manipulation of the data. And then we have auto scale and default scale button. This is also very important. This button arrows, this indicate you auto scale. Means sometimes the graph is very large, the force is produced too much, so the graph will go outside and you cannot see the real peak. So what we will do, we will click the auto scale button so that graph will be appear on the screen. Means it will not move out of the screen, we cannot see. So it will come into the screen and you can see it properly. And then we have a default scale button. Sometimes we decrease the size too much, so this is the default button that will give you the actual size again, how your graph was looking before. So default means the real graph that was appear when you click the start button and force is produced. So in this way we have different types of buttons on the LabTutor software that we use in different way for different experiments. So this is the detailed introduction about the PowerLab hardware and the LabTutor software that we use for the first year MBBS practicals, particularly for the electrophysiology. And for the first year MBBS, basically we are performing the human practical like EMG, and nerve conduction velocity is recorded, and then we have experiment from the frog skeletal muscles, respiratory system and cardiovascular system. So all these experiments we have to perform with the help of PowerLab. I hope you understand this sophisticated and neat and clean device that we use now. Previously, it was so pathetic to use the kymograph. So, anything you want to ask about the Power Lab, you can ask to me. And at last, I want to thank you to listening me carefully. Thank you so much.